Jimmy, I don't know what happened to your video yesterday, but it cut me off at 42 seconds. And all we talked about was the food. And there's a lot more to talk about than just the food. So let's finish this off. So if we know that our deer are feeding primarily to the west of us, maybe a little bit to the south of us, September and October, that becomes the focus of our attention. We're going to kill those deer as they travel from bed to the feeds, the best way to do it. They might be bedding on our neighbors. They might be bedding over here. They might be bedding on us. But we are going to kill them as they head from bed to feed. If we have quality food sources over here, this is where we want to set up. Sneak down your creek access here and find where we're going to set up. That's an ultimate place to have food. If I could move this food plot, if we can get into that food plot and get out of it without boogering up the deer on our property, that's great. If we can't, we got to find a way to set that food plot so we can get in and out of there. But we really want to build our food plot system around area agriculture and access. So let's look up. We have access along this road. You got a camper right here. We got access along this road. If I had a food plot right here, I could walk in from the road, right? Those deer that are bedded on us or on the neighbors would never know I got in there. Wind's blowing to the neighbors. They come through here. This is where they feed before they head to their destination food source at night. This one over here or this one over here. If I do a food plot down at the bottom of this property, this bottom corner here, I have to walk through this entire creek system to get there. I'm impacting the property much more. For food, we're trying to find the lowest impact food source that's a part of the deer's day. If this is part of a deer's day and this is low impact, we can get in and out of there. This one here is probably your lowest impact food source from what I'm looking at. I can pull up some topo stuff and look at it on the LiDAR imagery. I can probably get into this food plot here. Okay. Now the question is, where is your wind going to blow? Optimally, it's going to be out of the south, which isn't the best wind for hunting whitetails over food. We usually want a little more north. So the other part of the equation that works in is you have to figure out what the neighbors are doing. Okay. Are the neighbors allowing deer to move freely during daylight hours, creating a line of movement that we want to hunt? If these deer are undisturbed and they can flow through here and flow through this food plot going to this food source, that's awesome. We want to hunt that line of movement. If these people don't facilitate any daylight movement, because opening day of deer season or bow season, they got 9 guys in there, and all these deer either leave this property or go nocturnal, this becomes a line of access. And that same strategy repeats itself. What are these guys doing? What are these guys doing? What are these guys doing? Am I hunting a line of movement or am I creating a line of access? That's very important as well. And then the final thing you want to look at, because you do have enough topography in the area to have an influence on where the deer bed. All things being equal, deer use topography to influence where they bed. And the way they're going to do it is if we take this spot right here. With a north wind or northwest wind or northeast wind, those deer are going to bed on the leeward side of this hill. They're going to want to find a flat spot, a little bit of back cover, a little bit of side cover. They can smell and hear everything back here. We can't see them. If we try to approach this way, they drop off the side of this hill and disappear. Conversely, they have an elevation here, which they can always see better from. If we try to hunt them with our face into the wind, and they're bedded up there with a north wind, they're going to see us coming. They go back over the top side of this and disappear. And that, that scenario repeats itself across your property. You got some elevation here. We got some elevation here. And then you want to see where that elevation is in the neighborhood, because when the does bed there and we don't disturb them, that's where the bucks are going to cruise during the rut. So that's why the September, October is so important to be as low impact as we can on our property in the neighborhood, hunt that bed to feed. If we do that, we can stack more doe groups on our property. The more doe groups we stack onto our property, the more reasons that the bucks have to visit our place during daylight during the rut, because that's where the does are bedded during the rut. During the daytime, they're in their bedding areas, they're not moving. The bucks have to come find them. Keep those doe groups on your property. You got a reason for the bucks to visit them. Hunt too much of your property, blow those doe groups out of there. Difficult to hunt with this many food plots on there, on this size acreage. Hard to keep does bedded on our property hunting these food plots. And that means during November, we don't have a reason for the bucks to come visit our property, which really hurts us during the rut. So In a nutshell, it's kind of what we're looking at. That's what we look at on a plan for your property. I don't know what happened with the video yesterday, but this kind of rounds it out for you. If you want some help on this, give Sean a call. We can put together a full plan for you, show you how to make those food plots more accessible so the deer don't deer don't bust us coming to or fro with sight, sound, and smell. Set up a strategy for different winds, and then talk about some, if you want to do some bedding improvements, how we can do those bedding improvements logically to help our bed to feed success and to create predictable lines of movement that the bucks are going to use during the rut that you can sit on as those bucks are going from doe group to doe group that are on our property. So good luck with this. If you want some more help from us, reach out to Sean, and he can get you hooked up. Thank you, sir.